MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us today, we've got a very interesting business. It's called Jimny Wild. It's run by a guy called Guy Park, and this is his passion. It's a side hustle that's slowly growing into not much of a hustle, but a business. And perhaps that's what I want to talk to you about, is like at what trigger point for you is do you convert over to saying this is my business? Have you got a trigger in mind?
I'm not too sure if I've got a trigger in mind. Obviously, I know what my profitability on the business is, and I've needed to make sure that certain cash flow stays within the business to maintain stock.
Yes.
I'm a stock-heavy business without product, and I've experienced it. If I haven't held sufficient stock, you don't get sales.
Yeah.
The lead time on certain items is quite long because I have to bring it in via ocean freight. So I need to make sure that I'm feeding the company with enough cash flow to ensure that I've got sufficient stock at all stages. Taking on permanent position, that comes with quite an aggressive overhead in terms of my salary package.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure that the company stays afloat from a cash flow perspective before we move to that next point.
Okay. You spoke about in the insert about these self-developed products, and my ears pricked up when I heard that. Just give me more insight into that.
So it's my wife and I, and we've got 2 dogs with us. The Suzuki Jimny originally was just a 2-door vehicle, and the back windows are permanently closed. They're solid glass windows. And one of the self-developed products was that when we started going away with our animals, the dogs kept jumping into the front seat to put their heads out the window. And I approached a company to have a window designed as just a simple sliding window. And that was developed for the Jimny, and currently it's the only real full glass sliding window available in the world. And I've been fortunate enough to get quite a lot of traction internationally with that. I've sent it through all the way from Mexico through to New Zealand and many countries in between the East and the West. So that's been quite a nice aspect for me to increase my footprint of the business.
Jimny people. I don't know what to call them. Do they stay Jimny people? Are these people that like are lifers? So will they buy the next model and the next model?
So in my experience, the latest Jimny, which is what they refer to as the Jimny Gen 4 or JB74, has been incredibly popular with it, I think, from a design perspective. The older Jimny has also been incredibly popular. I think the statistic that I read is in the last 10 years, they've sold over 22,500 of the Jimnys in South Africa, combining the Gen 4 and the Gen 3. So it is an incredibly popular vehicle because of its capabilities within the 4x4 community. So you have got a niche market within the 4x4 community, and then niched even further when you're looking at that Suzuki Jimny. It is an incredibly engaging community. When you buy a Jimny, I feel like they should hand out social media profiles for your own car, because they seem to live and breathe the Jimny brand. Everything about it, from your daily drive through to the adventures that the vehicle can take you on.
I want to look at international trends. Is it just a South African thing, or is it a global thing? Is the trend, do you know what the trends are from a Jimny perspective?
It is definitely a global trend. It is exceptionally popular in Japan, where obviously the Suzuki brand originates from, as well as India, where a lot of the factories are now producing the vehicles. So it's very popular in those regions, very popular in Mexico as well. And Australian market is huge. The Australian market is incredibly committed as well.
You spoke about competitors, that there's other competitors in the market. So why do they buy from Jimny Wild and not the competitors?
So I think that's a very good question as well. You know, I was first to market with this product offering. That is not enough to continue the demand on my brand. However, I think that Jimny Wild is a dedicated Jimny business. As I said to you, I live and breathe the product. I drive it on a daily basis. We go away on holiday. I think the brand image is also incredibly relatable to a Jimny owner. When you buy that Jimny, when you walk away from it, you can't help but turn around and look at your car again. And my brand encapsulates what that vehicle is. So I think that's one reason why people keep coming back to my brand.
You spoke about local competition internationally. Who would you say are the leaders? Who's the top? Who do you aspire to be like globally in either Mexico or Australia?
So a huge amount of my inspiration for Jimny Wild came from a company in the UK called Jimny Style. They kind of started the idea of aftermarket parts. I think they purchase a lot of their products from Japan directly and resell it. They've predominantly an e-commerce base with also an international footprint. And that is where I got my inspiration from. I just needed to improve the supply chain, which I feel that I did for the South African market.
Within your current product set, have you got an understanding of what your top movers are, and is there sufficient margin? Is that margin coming under pressure through competition?
So yes, I've obviously got a very close grip on statistics in terms of what my fast products are, and those are the ones that I make sure that I hold stock of at any given time. The nice thing about a lot of our modern e-commerce platforms is that those statistics get spat out to you very nice and easily. So those products I hold all the time. And I think when it comes to competition from the market, unfortunately, these products, once a customer has purchased it, they're not going to purchase that same product again for their vehicle. So that is one of the big challenges, is making sure that my brand is first to mind within the community, and make sure that I can deliver in terms of service.
All right, Guy, I think I've got enough information. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, I'm going to give Guy some things to think about.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.